Today I will tell you about a Chinese anime called Fog Hill of Five Elements. Watch out for spoilers ahead. The story begins with a gate that's being opened. There are two women that look on in terror. Standing in front of the gate, we meet Xan. The gate opens and a mythical beast known as the Kirin steps out. The Kirin asks Xan why he opened the gate. He replies, he is there to take its power to heal his sick mother. Xan's arms burst into flames and he attacks. He lands a devastating blow to the beast's head but to no avail. He is quickly overwhelmed by the beast's speed and is sent flying. He holds his arm as it appears broken. But Xan smiles and activates his Phoenix Burst ability. His arm is restored as he attacks once more. He throws a large stone pillar at the beast but the Kirin shatters it with ease, pushing Xan back once more. Suddenly, there is an eruption of ice from the ground and both Xan and the Kirin are frozen. We meet Shan, the Axis of Ice, followed by the other elemental Axis members, Earth, Water, and Metal. At this moment, a baby Kirin emerges from the gate and runs off. The Kirin breaks free from the ice while dodging an attack from the Metal Axis. It transforms into a more draconic form and attacks Xan once again. Xan barely manages to defend himself and after their clash is left heavily damaged. The beast kidnaps the two women. Shen attempts to halt the Kirin, but his attacks are blocked with one hand and he is knocked back. The Kirin states that the demon realm is now in chaos, and that they must find his son in order to save the two women. Now we cut to a village in the mountains. We meet a young girl named Anne, returning home after collecting herbs from the mountains. She greets an old lady as she stops for some water. We're introduced to the 6th and 7th elders of the village. They talk about how they've been feeling healthier thanks to the village's special elixir. They greet Anne as she runs by. Anne arrives at the pharmacy and hands the herbs over to the 5th elder. After that, she rushes to find her father, but ends up running right into him, causing him to smash his pot of medicine. Her father is the 3rd elder and chief of the village. He cleans up the broken pieces and tells Anne she needs to be more careful. He hands her some money and tells her to buy a replacement pot from the old master up in the mountains. He warns her to stay on the path as it's easy to get lost in the mountains. Anne sets off right away. As she walks along the path, she meets 3 shady-looking masked men. As they approach her, she gets nervous and tries to hide her money. They say they are travelers looking for the village and just want a place to rest from their journey. She nervously gives them directions to the village and they leave. Anne is scared by this encounter and quickly runs off. She trips and ends up rolling down the hill. She comes to a stop and realizes that she is now lost. As she gets up, she finds herself in front of a large warning that reads, "Spirit Hidden Fog Hill." Anne looks on as the words begin to glow. A wing brushes against her leg, causing her to scream. She instantly grabs the creature and throws it away. Only then does she realize that it was just a duck and she goes after it. She comes to a lake and discovers a naked Xan. Anne gets flustered at the sight and ends up slipping. Xan sees her falling and quickly jumps up. He flies right past her as he saves the duck. Anne can't believe this and falls into the water. Xan and Anne get acquainted. He asks her why she is out in the middle of nowhere. She tells him she is looking for the old master to get a replacement pot. Xan knows the man and offers to guide her. As the two of them make their way, Anne asks Xan why there was a warning about entering the Spirit Hidden Fog Hill. Xan explains an old legend. Long ago there were demons that lived in the fog hills. These demons ravaged the humans, hunting and eating them. But one day the 5 elemental axis appeared and together they pushed the demons back and sealed them to another dimension. There were some that managed to get away, so the fog hills are still dangerous. The pair arrive at the old master's house. Anne is shocked by the overwhelming stench of wine. She admires all the pots and creations on display. The old master emerges from under a mountain of wine. Anne tells him she is here to pick up a new pot and hands him the money. He tells Xan to grab the order. Xan brings it over and the two leave. The sun is going down, so Xan decides to escort Anne back. At the village, the elders are alerted as they hear the town bell ringing. At the gates of the village, the 3 masked men from earlier are attacking. 2 of the guards are already dead with 1 wounded, begging for help. As one of the masked men runs up, the 6th elder appears. Wielding his dual blades, he exchanges blows with the man. But he is quickly overpowered, getting kicked away and stabbed with his own blade. The 5th elder jumps down and joins the fight. He charges in with his spear and holds his ground, showing he is more skilled than the 6th elder. He is even able to land a strike on the man. But with this, the 2nd man joins the fight. The two launch an attack together, throwing their blades while charging at the 5th elder. While he is able to block the 2 blades, he gets stabbed by their abnormal arms. The 7th elder tries to help out by firing explosives at the 2 men. The 5th elder is blown away as he coughs blood. He continues to fire more explosives. But one of the men deflects an explosive right back at him, causing him to suffer a heavy injury. One of the men rushes to finish off the fifth elder, but just before he can strike, Xan appears and holds him back. In an instant, Xan is on top of one of the men, and has the other caught with his hand. A bird's face is revealed as his mask falls off. Xan activates his flame and incinerates the beast. The elders and An are shocked to see Xan, who they recognize as the Flame Axis from the legends. Elsewhere, we meet a young boy named Dan as he chases away a bunch of other kids that are stealing his food. The kids get away as Dan curses at them. Suddenly he sees his brother, who has just returned from a long trip. Dan is overjoyed and embraces his brother. The two share a moment as his brother gives him a gift of his favorite red fruit. But this moment does not last long as they notice the disturbance coming from the village gate. They hurry over to see what's happening. At the gate, the chief orders everyone to retreat and regroup. They help the wounded back inside and leave the rest to Xan. The masked man undergoes a transformation, with feathers emerging, revealing his true form to be a peacock. The two begin to fight and at first appear to be fairly evenly matched in both speed and power. But the peacock dives at Xan and uses a breath attack, causing him to be blown away. The peacock then follows up with a flurry of blows which Xan is barely able to avoid. Xan stops his attack, he activates his flames and blasts the peacock, sending it flying. He then uses his flames to boost his speed and delivers a ferocious blow. The peacock gets blasted off and ends up running away. The elders regroup with the other villagers who are in shock seeing their injuries. Dan's brother tries to help treat the fifth elder's wounds. The chief tries to calm the villagers down. He tells them that they were attacked by demons and need to prepare weapons. But before they can prepare, the peacock suddenly lands behind him. The chief is paralyzed in fear. The peacock detects a scent on the chief and asks him for the location. The chief panics and doesn't know what he is talking about. Luckily, Xan arrives just in time, kicking the peacock away. He pins the peacock with his foot, but it charges its breath attack at some villagers. Xan blocks this but leaves himself open from behind. The peacock swoops in and slices both Xan's arm and leg. With this injury, the peacock asks Xan if he is aware of what the humans have done. He spreads his feathers and begins to glow as he says he will show Xan their true nature. As they stare at the peacock's feathers, some of the villagers scream as they begin to turn purple. Even the sixth elder is affected and begins to transform. The peacock then absorbs those who transform, turning them into dust. After the peacock absorbs their essence, he undergoes his own transformation. He gains a new humanoid appearance and takes a moment to reflect on his new form. He reads the mind of the old lady and discovers the location of the thing he is looking for. He takes off, leaving Xan on the ground, who is healing his wounds. Xan's hair turns to flames and his power surges as he puts on a mask. He quickly chases after the demon. The sixth elder remains and runs wild, fully turned into a demon. He kills other members of the village and even attacks his own son. Dan's brother dives and saves the kid, but they are cornered as the sixth elder stabs them with his claws. Dan is horrified at the sight. He rushes to save his brother. He jumps forward and strikes with a stick but ends up getting skewered instead. The sixth elder realizes what he has done, and asks Dan's brother to kill him before he can do any more harm. Xan catches up with the demon and their battle continues. He begins to struggle fighting against the demon's new form. The demon attaches his aura to Xan, pulling him back in after each hit. Xan grabs onto the demon but this only leads to him getting blasted up the mountain by a powerful attack. When the dust clears, Xan is revealed relatively unharmed and appears to have ascended to an even more powerful form, with his body completely glowing with flames. Xan's speed and strength are massively enhanced as he chases the demon. He uses his flame whips to catch the demon and kick him into a mountain. The demon retaliates using his feathers to attack. He gathers all his feathers together to create a massive drill-like attack. Xan attempts to stop it but it pushes him back. As the tip of the attack begins to cut into his throat, he reaches deep within his power and rips the attack in half. He then flies toward the demon, striking him in the chest and causing his heart to combust. He attacks with a mad barrage of strikes before smashing the demon into the ground. As the dust settles, the demon has reverted back to his peacock form. Xan has a chance to talk to the demon and asks how he turned the humans into monsters. The demon tells him to enter the tunnel behind him to find the truth. At this moment, the chief arrives in a panic. He says no one is allowed to enter but as he runs, he slips on a branch, causing him to drop a vial, spilling out his elixir. One of the peacock's feathers detach and grabs one of the pills. It then turns into a bird and flies away. Xan picks up the strange pill and sniffs it, quickly realizing its source and rushes into the tunnel. Xan finds the Kirin's son in a cage, chained up. He was being used as the source of the elixir. Xan is enraged at the sight and rescues the Kirin. As he carries the Kirin away, the peacock vows that the demon world will be coming to take the Kirin and that the humans will atone for their sins. Anne is speechless as Zhan walks right past her. The next day, Anne is with her father as he awakens. She asks why they were attacked by demons. He reveals to her that 3 years ago, there was a devastating plague that struck the village. More than half the villagers were infected and they were unable to find a cure. But one day the Kirin appeared and one of its scales fell into the well. After drinking the water, the villagers were completely healed. And after that, they captured the Kirin and created the elixir from its scales. In the demon world, the bird delivers the pill and the news of the peacock's death to the leader of the demons, the beast of insanity. He declares that it's time to take back the world from the humans. He uses the power from the pill, and breaks the seal that keeps demons locked away. He commands the demons to find and retrieve the baby Kirin. Only then will they have the power to defeat the 5 elemental axis. Zhan, along with the other elemental axis members, see that the seal to the demon world has broken. They can only watch on as they realize the terror that has just been unleashed. The end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Thanks for watching.